Howdy, folks. Howdy, folks. It is Thursday. Rained all day yesterday. And that's good. There are some places that ain't getting no rain. So we're happy to have it because we need it. But damn, it'd be raining. Looky here. This is Black Dragon Biker TV, and as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. Man, it's just a blessing to have you all here, and I'm glad to see you. Some stuff before we get into the show today. One is we are now absolutely reviving the prepper channel, Think Tactical. It's hard to find. It's hard to find my prepper channel, Think Tactical. It's hard to find it because nobody's watching it. So if you go type Think Tactical, it's hard to find. So you just need to go to the description box and get the link there. After we start using it again, you'll be able to get Think Tactical just like that. But I guess if you don't use a channel for a while, it disappears. Isn't that crazy? And we are going to have as a co-host former U.S. Navy SEAL Chingon. Yeah, as a co-host. And we got a couple other co-hosts that will be coming to Think Tactical. And of course, the show is dedicated to one of the original co-hosts, a guy named Robert Coleman, whom I worked with for 17 years over at Eris, and he died last year of COVID during the height of the COVID crisis. So the two guys you see, if you go look at the earlier versions, one guy named Coach Petro, Coach Myron Petro, he and I work together. Coach Petro will be back. He is a expert. He's a gun maker. What do you call him? Gunsmith. And so he's an expert at weapons and making weapons and fashioning them and all kinds of stuff, reloading. He's an expert at that. We have Shingon, who is a former Navy SEAL, and they have certain expertises that if they talk about they have to kill you, but he'll be doing the non-lethal have to kill you ones. So, he won't be telling you anything that then we'll have to show up and kill you. But stuff to help you stay alive. You have Black Dragon, of course, 8th degree black belt with all kinds of information as well in the prepper line. And then I have other people coming that I've spoken to throughout the months. So, man, we're going to have fun with this channel, talking about everyday carry and just all kinds of things. Chingon does so many things. He does stuff with youth. Oh, my goodness. And then any others of you who want to contribute, please let me know at Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. Let me know what you would like to contribute. We're taking on all folks who are qualified to help us. So there's my email address, blackdragon at blacksabbathmc.com. If you want to contribute on our new show, revived show, Think tactical. You better be thinking tactical. Yeah. We're gonna have shirts and everything. Yeah, we might really need this after this election. There's a good chance that none of us will be friends anymore, right? Oh my goodness. All right. Second thing. It seems that the trial, the retrial bid that the Mongols Motorcycle Club was trying to get a retrial. They lost that one trial that said that the trial that was trying to take away their colors. Even though they kept their colors, the judge thought that was a bridge too far, even though they were found guilty of being I can't remember it all, but something like, don't quote me 100%, but something like they were found guilty of being a criminal organization or something like that. And they were going to use asset forfeiture civil asset forfeiture laws to take away their patch. And so the first thing to do was to beat them and in court. And hey, man, they went along for about, they've been at this for a long time, 15 years or something. They've been at this a long time. And they won that case. Then there was a bombshell that happened where little Dave, who was their international president at the time, got into some kind of argument with his wife over the telephone. She may have been mad that he might not have been faithful or something. A woman scorned. And she tape recorded him. And he said some things that were, that may have seemed or made many people think that he was working with the feds during the case, which would have been a major conflict of interest. And if so, this would give the club the right to challenge that trial. And why challenge that trial if say, even though they found you guilty, but you didn't lose your colors, why even worry about it? Well, hell, they had one hell of a fine to pay to the government. They had to pay a fine. They had incredible attorney fees and a lot of things attached to them that you wouldn't want to have attached to you. Like I can imagine, and this is just me musing, but I can imagine if you're, in Texas, they got some rules that if you belong to a criminal organization, you can't carry a concealed weapon, even if you have a permit. So it'd be easy to put that on somebody if they had this indictment that says so. Anyway, they fought this, and a couple of days ago, they lost that case. So they're going to so of course, little Dave says this is a big victory that exonerates him. Other people say no, it doesn't exonerate him at all. So what's going to happen, I guess, Monday the 17th is Hollywood, and Hollywood has been covering this thing like crazy. So if you want to look up this thing, Hollywood's been going over the trial transcripts and stuff. Hollywood has made his bread and butter on these kinds of cases. He covered the Waco case, the Twin Peaks case. I mean, he covered that thing left and right. And so Hollywood is going to be holding a debate on his channel. One side says that little Dave was not, if I understand it right, one side says little Dave is not a rat, and the other side says he is a rat, or something like that. And he's going to be doing that on the 17th on his show, and he's asked me if I would moderate the discussion. And so this is him talking about that on his TikTok and Instagram. We'll play that real quick.
Big news.
Oh, hold on. I always forget to put this on the inside speaker. Hold on, here we go. Now we're on the inside speaker. Let's try it again. Here we go.
Big news, big news. Monday, the 17th, Mooch from Mornings with Mooch is going to be on the show live to debate the issue of Little Dave. Is he vindicated or not? This show is one of two where we're going to be going over the defense and the prosecution's closing brief arguments. And this is going to be moderated by Black Dragon of Black Dragon Biker TV. So make sure to check it out. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah. So I have no dog in the hunt. So I guess I'm a guy who can mediate between two guys that are going to be arguing. Which is what I used to do as national president all the time. So I'll let those two guys argue the merits of what they believe, and we'll be watching on the sidelines. Hey, Miss Ain't Shit, good to see you. Thanks we got a new person, Miss Ain't Shit, and she's been on a couple days now, so I appreciate seeing you on here. Pablo says, I found out about Hollywood's channel because of his Waco coverage. He was the only guy covering, and the funny thing about it is Hollywood was right. He was right. The whole time when I first, that's kind of how I found Hollywood too. And I actually found Hollywood through a guy by the name of Chuck Gines, whom I hated very much, but I guess he did do one thing good. But anyway, he turned out to be right the whole time. When I was first watching Hollywood, I was like, this guy's a kook. Those cops are going to go get him, man. But he used to have the wall of shame where he talked negatively about cops. Oh, man, it was crazy. So, but Hollywood is kind of reformed now. He's more of a nicer guy. He hated the Iron Order in the beginning, and now he doesn't hate them and all this kind of stuff. So I've watched some transformations in that guy. So, all right, moving on to the show today. So we'll piss off a few today. We'll talk a little bit about this, and then we're going to let it go. And so I've been getting some requests, especially from one of my guys on here has requested several days in a row now. Hey, can you start covering national officers and things that national officers are supposed to be doing? I've never really seen you talk much about it, and I really haven't talked much about it because most of the time I'm talking to people that are brand new in motorcycle clubs. I think my bread and butter is really made with people that are new to this. Prospects Bible and Sergeant at Arms Bible. If you've been a Sergeant at Arms for 15 years, you might not want to hear what I have to say about being one. But so I don't often talk about national offices because I really tailor a lot of my stuff to newer folks. But I was a national president for almost 10 years. And I took a very small motorcycle club, and with the dedication and hard work and love of my brothers, led it to the point that it became a national motorcycle club with chapters from coast to coast. We had a few chapters when I started, but the club was 30 years old when I started as national president. 30 some years old, right? And we were able to go national very easy, not very easily, but very swiftly. So I have some experience with the national stuff, regional stuff. I created that entire system for my motorcycle club that did not have it before. And the way that I did it was, honestly, I looked at other motorcycle clubs and I took the best things I saw from them and I put it into the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club. Good morning, Bearded Existence. It's so good to see you on here, man. And thanks for tuning in. Herbert, if you're asking for my Gmail, I don't have Gmail. My email is blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com. Two Step says, this is a good topic. I was speaking to a sergeant in arms from another MC in our area. He is having issues regarding how club nationals and regionals have their hand in the cookie jar in his respective chapters. So we're going to jump into this right now. And I want to start with my caveats. These are my caveats. I'm speaking from my experience and my experience only. How people do things in your motorcycle club is how they do things in your motorcycle club, right? So sometimes running up to somebody screaming, well, Black Dragon said, is a good way to get cussed the hell out, right? So just keep that in mind. Also, when it comes to 1% motorcycle clubs, I don't speak for them. They do their own thing. So I have to put those caveats out, because I can say 1,000 times this show is for 99%ers. I say that all the time. 99%ers, traditional clubs, family clubs. I had a guy make a video yesterday pissed off at me because I used the term 99%er. There's no such thing as a 99er, says he. And if you ain't a 1%er, you ain't shit. Hey. So we talk to us, all right? If you don't like it, move the hell on. It's that easy. All right, so here we go. One of the biggest problems I had in putting together regional and national chapters of a motorcycle club. So when you think of a region in our club, we're a national club, but we have regions. So we have the East Coast, Mid-Central, and West Coast. That's how our club is set up. Other clubs have other things. You might have regions within a state. Let's just say you had 50 chapters in a state. Your state might have regions, the Ozarks, the River Valley region, the Ozark region, the Low Country region, whatever your regions are, however they are designed. I guess if you're in South Africa, you might have regions set up by tribes or something, the Zulu region, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you have regions, and then you have nationals. Now, in our club, we use the chapter system, which is different than the charter system. In the charter system of motorcycle clubs, the charters are very independent. And a lot of clubs will run the charter way because it's a little bit difficult to throw RICO on chartered clubs. Because the national can always say, those are charters, they run themselves, bro. If them cats are selling drugs, we ain't got nothing to do with that. We run a chapter system. A chapter system is more heavily controlled by the regional and national officers. Run under a little bit different and we can get into all that in other videos. But so in a chapter system, which is what I'm used to, and with national and regional presidents, one of the biggest problems I've ever had is keeping each individual fiefdom's hands out of the other fiefdom's cookie jar. It's real hard to keep the regional on regional business, the chapter president on chapter business, and the nationals on national business, especially when you arise from a chapter. Let us say you are in the oh my goodness, the Cleveland, Ohio chapter, and you become the Cleveland regional president. But you were the Cleveland local chapter president, and you get elected or appointed to the regional chapter level. Now, now here you are all the time over in the local chapter president's business, because actually you still live in Cleveland. And there's no such thing really as a regional chapter. Right. Where does the regional chapter meet? What would the regional chapter be made of? The regional president, regional vice, now, and this can get really, really weird, because if you have a regional president, a regional vice president, a regional sergeant at arms, a regional road captain, a regional PRO, I mean, you could just really take this out to the nth degree. And some clubs will have a state boss, and then they'll have enforcers or regional enforcers. Do you see how big this thing can get? And who's in charge of what? You know what I'm saying? And so what a lot of folks have a tendency to want to do is people are lazy. They're very, very lazy. This is a human quality. So it's easier for me to order down to tell those guys what to do. It's easier to do that than get in this new space I'm now in and create what's supposed to happen there. Because that shit takes work. And this right here is pontificating down to those who are lower than I am. So the biggest problem that you get is the pontificators, the ones who don't want to go forge new work and instead want to be over the top of somebody. So now you get the issue where you have the regional president always in the local chapter president's business, especially if was the president of that place. And this is what we see sometimes too, you see a regional president who remains the local chapter president. And that one's tough. That one's tough too, especially when he has subordinates that are underneath him trying to rise too. They want him the hell out of the regional spot, of the local spot. They want him the hell out of there so they can grow. And the first thing you'll always see is you can't hold two positions. You can't be regional and you can't. And a lot of times clubs do that because they don't have the personnel. But then when they start getting in more people, the first thing they want to do is boot that sucker up out their business. And that's one of the biggest ones that they do. So, hey, man, take care, Pablo. So the question is that I always get, and I've had that 4 or 5 times a day. I've had 3 or 4. You guys know I have this consulting business where I consult motorcycle clubs at clarity.fm/black-dragon. So this is my thing I use to consult motorcycle clubs. And when I'm on Clarity, this is it right here. And I'm talking to motorcycle. Recently, I've had several times where clubs have called me just in a lockdown because the national is messing around in local chapter business. And the national feels like, in many cases, I'm the national president of this all, and it all falls on me. And I say what goes down in this MC. That's the hardest one. And the hardest one is national officers like the sergeant at arms or this, that, and the other. A national, I remember one time I saw where a national vice president decided he was going to kick somebody out of the motorcycle club. He was going to kick a guy out. So he made it his decision that he was going to reach down into the local chapter and boot that member out. And this had all kinds of stuff attached to it. Well, first of all, local chapters, we decide who's in our chapter. How are you guys going to reach down here and tell us who can be in our chapter? All these weird things going on. The first thing is it's always a power play. So when I'm dealing with this, the first question I want to know is why must you feel in your power that you have to tell these guys down here what to do. Are you handling your business? What do I believe a regional president, regionals should be doing? Another thing is, a lot of your motorcycle clubs don't have job descriptions. If you don't have job descriptions, people are just making it up as they go, right? And people are as powerful as they make it up to be, rather than as powerful as the bylaws say they should be, or powerless, right? So if you get a strong personality person or an obsessive idiot, he'll have way more power than someone who's easygoing. And so you get an incompetent idiot oozing his power out on everybody. Well, you can really screw up the motorcycle club for a long time until that idiot moves on. When I say screw up the motorcycle club, is what a lot of you guys fail to realize is people vote with their feet, their footses. They use their footses to move the hell on. So if you see a guy that every time you turn around, somebody is leaving or somebody's upset with him, and then they start leaving chapters and going to other chapters or leaving the club altogether, you know who the problem is. The problem's right there. Another thing I hate to see is I hate to see a guy who could not get elected as president, no matter what he did, some kind of way get himself elevated to a regional president level. Now you got a guy who has never won an election over the top of guys who have. That sucks. Where the hell does that happen at? Kamala Harris. That's what happened in her situation, right? Well, actually, she was elected because she was elected with the president. But you could say every vice president of the United States doesn't get. Well, you can't say that because has a vice president ever won an election as president? No. Have they? I don't think so. So you think about this and you say, if you've never been a president, if you couldn't win president, now you're national, now you're a regional president. If you couldn't win president, now you're a regional president. How the hell does that work? But it does. I see this in motorcycle clubs all the time. So I say, first of all, get some damn job descriptions in your motorcycle club. Get some job descriptions. What I think a regional president should be working on, growing the club, handling regional kinds of business, like what's good for all the chapters. What are we doing with recruiting? What are we doing with, are the clubs following the bylaws? Administrative stuff. The only time I want a regional reaching down into a club is if the club has violated a bylaw standard. Then things like that get elevated to a regional. But a regional sitting in on your chapter meetings to get the hell out of here, man. Stop it. And unless there's stuff going on against the bylaws. Keeping people out of people's cookie jars is tough. Especially if you're the national. And if you're a national that wants to reach down in everybody's business, well, you are a real pain in the ass. And you probably ain't doing national business. A national is a higher order of a regional. You should be working on the club mission, where the club will be in the next 5 years, what the club is going to look like, what are the club's legal concerns, how is the club acquiring new territories? And you always hear me talking about recruiting and acquiring, recruiting and acquiring. And why, Black Dragon? We're happy with the 62 chapters we got. What do we need any more for? And I always throw this out. It's like the human body. You get about 35 years old, and what do you start doing? You spend the rest of your life dying. Your cells are not reproducing. You're not growing new cells and stuff like that. And this body starts to rot while you're living and alive. You get my age, I'm almost 60, and your knees don't work. Your everything hurts. I've developed this thing in my hand now called trigger finger, where if I close this hand, it won't open back up. This finger right here, it doesn't open back up. You got to push it open. There's the snap, the thing in it doesn't work. And so I've read up on it, and it looks like I'm going to have to get some injections and stuff. And I'm really concerned about being able to pull in my throttle. Ow, right there. See, when I pulled in real hard, the only way to get it back open is to snap it back open. And they say it actually locks. My point is, when you stop growing, you start dying. You're like those cells. Your body stops working, it starts dying, so does your motorcycle club. That's why guys say, oh man, we got too many people. We need to stop bringing in people. Stop letting them come in. I've seen that in other chapters. I've told people, especially when I've consulted with other motorcycle clubs, don't do that. Because motorcycle clubs go up and down, and you might lose 25 people, get pissed off and leave. And you ain't got no prospects, ain't got nothing going. I never stop bringing in new people. Never stop. I always keep the cycle of fresh people coming in. When you stop growing, you start dying. That's every single thing. So I'm always big on, hey, new territory, because we lose chapters. We've lost many chapters. People lose interest in the area. People die out. Our Minnesota chapter was strong for 35 years. We had 2 chapters in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities. And now it's a now it's a ghost town. It's absolutely a ghost town. It's just like nothing. There's no even evidence that we were ever there. The chapters just, they died. The people got old. The last remaining member, the founder, Leonard Mack, died almost 5 years ago now. So you lose chapters. You got to keep building and keep growing. This is what nationals and regionals need to be focused on. Not your damn local chapter. Does that make sense? The local chapters should run themselves in as much as possible. They don't need a damn regional every time somebody says something. Hold on. No, we're not going to be doing it that way. Dude, you're not part of, what are you doing? Take off the overreach. And so we see this a lot in clubs. And what I would do if the power of this is the power of the local chapter. The power of this is the local chapter saying, and I don't just mean the local president, I mean the local chapter saying, hey man, we got this. We got this. We're going to handle this by chapter vote. And in my position, my experience, the way I feel, the way I feel about it is, if I've got a regional too deep in our business, I can bet you $100, I can bet you $1,000. This is a guy who has not brought in even one potential new chapter. Check it out. He ain't brought in nobody. He ain't added nothing. He hasn't extended us. He hasn't taken us to any other new clubs to hang out, meet new people. This is what a regional does. He helps with getting along with other. He's herding over the region to make sure that he's empowering the local chapter presidents. He's defending his presidents to the nationals. I look at anyone, when you get the local city off your back, right? You become a nomad. A patch with no city, no state, that's a nomad. So when your patch says such and such regional, you're now a nomad in that region. You ain't got no chapter, bro. You're rolling around the region, making sure things are cool. You're knowing what's happening. You know who's fighting, who ain't fighting. You know the safe places for your MC to be hanging out. You're meeting with other chapters and stuff, and other clubs and stuff, and forging new relationships, looking for business opportunities for the MC. Hey, we're going to get together with such and such MC and throw a car wash. Let me see if the local chapters want to do something like that, and then let me try to create some opportunities. But that's a whole lot different than I'm the regional and I'm going to tell you what to do. Then nationals on a whole nother level doing the same kind of thing. Nationals should be working on, okay, are we going to have a bylaws review? What are we going to be doing where are we taking the motorcycle club over the next few years? Where are we going? What are the laws that are happening? You got so much to be doing. Way more than worrying about what's happening with the property ofs down over in Chapter X, man. Get the And then in these men's motorcycle clubs, I'm so cracked up by how many of these local and regional officers are so damn concerned about what's going on with the women. Whoa. Do we really have a national president over here in our chapter talking about the women? Bro, stop it. Cut it out, man. Cut that. Stop. Stop in the name of love before you think it over. Think it over. Another career. Anyway, this is so my feelings are this. Get you a job, bro. Learn your job. If you ain't got no job descriptions, focus your job on expansion and on expansion and security and longevity of the MC. It reminds me of Captain Kirk. Remember Captain Kirk? Captain Kirk was the guy who never wanted to be admiral. He still wanted to get out there and get the green chicks. Captain Kirk would go to bed with anything. I remember when he went to bed with the shapeshifter. The shapeshifter was this furry rat-looking thing that crawled on its belly, and you would never lay down and sleep with that thing. Oh, some of you might, but most. but it shifted shapes. And when Kirk saw it, it was a blonde, woo, bad thing. But that was just only what it appeared to him. Shit, you know, Kirk, you went to bed with that mop. It was a mop. You went to bed with a mop, bro. like what was it in the Addams Family, that thing with all that hair? You went to bed with a mop, bro. And Kirk was addicted to that. He had to be out in the stratosphere. Kirk was never going to come home and be an admiral. Even when they made him an admiral, they had to demote his ass. He stole a starship and went out and did some starship stuff. If you want to be a captain and break new ground, stay with the local chapter. Stay a local chapter president. Keep running for local chapter stuff. When you want to be an administrator, now you request higher office. You seek higher office. You seek to be a regional sergeant at arms, whatever, regional vice president, regional president. And then if you really want to get high, Kay Wayne said, and he liked it. And if you really want to get higher in the administrative roles, now you run for nationals. I can tell you it's lonely up there. It's lonely as a regional because a lot of times you ain't got nobody to ride with. There's no regional chapter. Where if you have a regional president in Topeka, Kansas, and you have a regional vice president in Wichita, Kansas, and you have a regional sergeant at arms in Tulsa, and you have a regional secretary in Dallas, and you have a regional road captain, let's just say, in Houston, where the hell would any of those guys ride together? There's like no regional chapter. So a lot of times nobody wants you around because you've been such an asshole. So you're by yourself. You're by yourself. And that really is lonely, especially if you're a person like me that really gets a lot of value out of being with the local chapter. I feel myself a lot like Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk was never going to be anybody's admiral. He got kicked out of being an admiral. They gave him a ship and he finally retired as a captain. There are a lot of you Captain Kirks out there who are now in regional and national positions, and you really weren't suited for it. You're still trying to run a local chapter, and that ain't what you're supposed to be doing. And everybody knows. Everybody knows. I see somebody talking about Lawton here. Everybody, I think many of you guys know I'm from Lawton, Oklahoma. Damn, haven't been there, so I don't even know what Lawton looks like anymore. But that's where I'm at with that. And that's why, yeah, I get to bring it up. That's why I wrote the President's Bible. This is for presidents, regional presidents, and national presidents that talk about the 14 principles, scientific principles of motorcycle club leadership. I get to shamelessly hawk my book because I talk about a lot of that in here. What you should be focusing on to grow your club. And I think I'm a good enough expert to do it. I was able to grow my club across the country with chapters from coast to coast because I followed some scientific principles of leadership. And and you have to study because I never was a CEO of nothing. But when you become in charge of all these people, you're a CEO. Rattlesnake said it. JJ did tie buckle. Rattlesnake was a Marine. He knows. Hold on. JJ did tie buckle. There you go. Those are the 14 scientific principles of military leadership right there. JJ did tie buckle. And if you want to win tomorrow's book, I'm giving away, I'll give away 3 books tomorrow to the first 3 people who send to me. Now, if you haven't won a book before, I'll be giving away a book tomorrow to the first 3 people who send me what JJ did tie buckle stands for. And if you send that to me here at Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com, the first 3 people to send that will win the Prospects Bible audio book. So there it is, Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. JJ did tie buckle. What does that mean? Okay, so that's tomorrow's winners. I'll give away 3 books tomorrow. Miss Ain't Shit says, excuse me if this has been answered, but Black Dragon, are you writing a Bible for social clubs? I am. It's called the Social Clubs Bible, and I'm hoping that it will be out in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. We're working on it right now. Absolutely. So that's my diatribe for today. Get you, for one way that clubs can solve this problem is get you a set of job descriptions. I'm thinking about writing a job descriptions book for motorcycle clubs because a lot of motorcycle clubs don't have job descriptions. What is your job? What is the limits of your jobs? And what are the expectations of your jobs? What are you supposed to be doing? What should you wake up on a daily basis be doing? I think I said that right. What should you be doing on a daily basis when you wake up every day? What should you be doing as a regional or a national or a local chapter president? Where should you be taking these people? Where should they be going? Good question. A lot of people don't know. What should we be doing? Where should we be headed? Right? What is your job? And when you know that, then you don't have all of these issues. Shadow says regionals manage chapters in his or her region via those presidents. Nationals handle all input from the region. Somebody knows. Shadow knows. But nowhere in this description did he say he's messing around inside the local chapter telling them how they're going to spend their money or some retardation or he's overturning elections. Man, elections are one of the hallmark principles of democracy. Elections and peaceful transfer of power. This is what is supposed to make democracy and democratic societies a cut above the rest. Is that we don't have kings and royalty and some family who elevated themselves above all families in the 12th century or something, who now have this so-called royal blood, and they get to do all kind of things from double dealing on the stock market to everything. They get lands and titles and all kinds of stuff because we don't have that here. It's pretty cool, especially if you're in the royal family. It's cool as hell. And our motorcycle clubs, for the most part, when you talk about traditional motorcycle clubs, because there are absolutely motorcycle clubs that have fiefdoms and kingdoms and are dictatorships. There are absolutely those that absolutely exist. But when you think about traditional motorcycle clubs, Bro, when you have traditional motorcycle clubs, then you have motorcycle clubs that run on democratic principles, the idea that we get to vote. So you got somebody in your chapter or trying to run your chapter that is trying to override the vote. Then you have something that goes against the basic democratic principles of traditional motorcycle clubs. That's why I always say I'm talking about traditional mom and pop motorcycle clubs. If you've got some sort of other thing going on, or, you know, we 1%ers, we do, okay, well, I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all do something else. I'm talking to the folks that do that like we do it. That's who we talking to. So it's a hallmark, a principle to for your vote to count. So if you got somebody stamping out your vote, then you got somebody that's stamping out the core principles and the bylaws of your MC, and they need to be their ass rooted out. Throwing off one of them buildings back there. That's what needs to be happening. So, anyway, I digress. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. I absolutely appreciate you. I really appreciate having you on. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread this thing around, if you would, so, to people that need. I saw a lot of folks. Man, I know a riding club that needs to read this. So spread this around if you can, to folks that need it. I think it could help some people. I've heard, Vernon says, I've heard of regionals, nationals, and internationals that feel that they have the power to take chapter members' colors. Well, if you got a national president that's going to actually take a member's colors, that guy's deep. That guy's deep into the chapter, because that's something that's handled by a local sergeant at arms. Now, I've done that. Everything I'm for is everything I once. Everything I'm against is everything I probably once was. When I was a young national, I was ignorant as hell, didn't know what the hell I was doing, and made some of those mistakes. And one time I had two club brothers fighting. One club brother started punching the other one in the mouth, and he was a president. And he hit that club brother about 10 times. I walked up. Give me those goddamn colors right now. Boy, the sergeant at arms came running. National, no, not national. We got those. We got that. Listen, I was so adamant. I want those colors. I want them right now. Let me tell you what, that sergeant at arms never let those colors leave that town. See, we had good people, well trained. He got between me and the member. He took the colors. I'm reaching for him the whole time. No, national. We got him, man. We got it, man. We got it. He's respectful and everything. Prospects are all around. The brothers are all around trying to keep me from them colors. They wasn't letting them colors leave that city. That was. The member paid his $2,500 fine or $5,000, whatever it was. It was a hell of a fine. I was so mad. I fined him on the spot. No, national. We got it. We moved me right out the way. That's what they were supposed to do. That wasn't my job. I couldn't believe he would beat a member up in front of me. I was the national. The right thing to do would be to look at that sergeant at arms and say, bro, you got that right, which he did. Folks know their jobs. Let them do it. All right. That's it. I need to let y'all go. You can find us on Discord. Go to our Discord channel. The link is in the description box below. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Also, we show our live on Twitch and LinkedIn. My books, Prospects Bible, Sergeant at Arms Bible, President's Bible, Public Relations Officer's Bible, are all available on Amazon, Kindle, or at blackdragonsgear.com. That's the preferred method I prefer you to use, blackdragonsgear.com. But you can even go to a bookstore, and order our books. And we also have one of our books, President's Bible, available on Audible. Our podcast is The Dragon's Lair, Motorcycle Chaos, and you can get us anywhere you do your podcasting. Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com is my email address. Make sure to check out our brothers, Traveling Bros Cigars, travelingbroscigars.com, and use your discount code Black Dragon TV and enjoy a discounted cigar on me. My club brothers have their travelingbrotherscigars.com. If you want to go to their actual brick and mortar store, if you're ever in Franklin, Maryland, please drop by their store and hang out with them. Tell them Black Dragon sent you. Also, call attorney Matthew Nolan at 612-644-3837, 612-644-3837, or mnolan at troutlaw.com, T-R-A-U-T law.com, mnolan at troutlaw.com. And he will help you get your 501c3, 501c7, or your club trademarked, or all those sorts of things. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'm Black Dragon. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospects Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.
You are fake news.
Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust.
Biker news you can trust. Biker news you can trust. Biker news you can trust.
Yeah.